Washington mornings on the Mall. At AM 630. WMAL.
8:07 on WMAL. Brian Neiman, Bryn Wilson with you. Tucker Carlson joins us, editor of the Daily Caller. Good morning, Tucker.
Oh, good morning.
How you doing, Tucker?
I have to say, I look at the Daily Caller every morning. Where do you get your pictures from? Because you guys have the best pictures.
We just Photoshop them all.
Did you? Because there's one on today about Bashful Bladder syndrome.
Oh, yeah.
Where you've got, I guess, 5 guys. Well, one of them does look like a girl. I guess 5 guys sitting in front of a urinal trough. And outside, where do you come up with a picture like that? That's fantastic.
Those are our overnight photo guys, the editors overnight, and they are just diabolical and great and brilliant. But that story, the Obama administration has now decided that stage fright, that
yes,
the fear one gets in a public urinal that prevents evacuation, is now covered under the Americans with Disabilities Act, and that all public accommodations, all restrooms have to have special dividers so that people can't see each other when they take a leak, because this is a profound medical condition.
Well, I have another one for them. My 4-year-old refuses to go into a urinal that has the sensor that can sense when you leave, because he's afraid because he's so little, sometimes it just goes off as he's going, and it freaks him out to no end. He has been burned by that. I got a feeling I'm going to have to go through therapy and pay for a lot of money over this through the years.
No. The federal government will send you disability payments. Actually, you can probably get an SSI on the basis of that. This is a good thing, by the way. He'll get free college tuition.
Yeah, maybe I'll look
a handicap parking sticker. There are a lot of benefits to this.
Yes, because I have to hold up a piece of paper in my hand in front of the sensor as he's going, and he still kind of refuses to go. So I will look into that. Thank you for that bit of information, Tucker Carlson.
Sure.
This is not exactly where I thought this interview was going to go, but here we go. Okay, well, look, one of the other stories that we talked about that you guys got was, I think, early this week, where you had a story about a Saturday Night Live skit that sort of bashed the president, that was scrapped in favor of a Saturday Night Live skit that trashed our friends over at Fox and Friends on the Fox News channel.
Pretty amazing.
Where do you get stuff like that?
Well, we can't reveal our sources.
Well, of course you can't. I don't even know why I asked.
Amazing story. A guy called Jim Downey has been writing sketches for Saturday Night Live since 1976. He's the longest-serving guy on the show. Great guy, brilliant guy, very, very funny. He's written all the signature political pieces you remember, all the debate pieces. He's not a screaming right-winger. He's kind of middle of the road, hits both sides. He wrote a sketch gently mocking the president for bragging about killing Osama bin Laden and announcing Kill Osama bin Laden Day, and it was this pretty elaborate and I thought very funny sketch. It went through dress rehearsal Saturday night, got huge response from the audience, and was cut after that, despite the good response, for this very conventional, dumb sort of, Fox and Friends is stupid, ha 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 ha, real preachy piece. And anyway, I thought it was worth running because I thought it was funny, but more than that, it's a sign that Saturday Night Live this season, really for the first time in its history, it's a liberal show, sure, it's, of course it's entertainment. However, it has never gone through a political season where it didn't take any shots at one of the candidates. And this season, you can go back and look at every show, there's not been one sketch critical of Jesus / the president.
Hey, do you have any sense of who's making those calls?
Seth Meyers is, the head writer on Saturday Night Live. Look, I don't work there. I don't work at NBC anymore. I don't know exactly what the conversations are, but I know what the net product is, and that is a show that's totally free of any even gentle ribbing at President Obama. And it's all like the most conventional attacks on, Mitt Romney's rich and stupid and Mormon and, Fox News is evil. It really has editorialized in a way it hasn't. And if you go back, obviously the show is liberal in some deep sense because most comedians are liberal. However, they've always taken shots at the Democratic side in an election year because you kind of have to. Yeah. Right? It's a divided country. Not this year.
All right. The president reversed his position on gay marriage, or he's clarified where he is. He's in favor of it personally, though he says it's for the states. It's not for the federal government to decide. I guess, number one, do you think this helps him or hurts him in November?
I don't know. I don't think it hurts him. The feeling was that, a lot of black and Latino voters are opposed to gay marriage, and I think that's true. The polls indicate that's true, but it's not like they're not going to vote for him since he's come out for gay. I don't think there's anything he could do to lose a lot of the core voters in the Democratic Party. I mean, he could come out and worship Satan, and they'd still vote for him. A lot of people still vote for him. So I don't think it hurts him. I would like to see him take the next step and endorse marriage in general. You know, not just gay marriage, but affirm that it's worth getting married, especially worth getting married when you want to have kids. I mean, the single most accurate predictor of poverty and imprisonment is out-of-wedlock birth. You know, the single most important thing you can do, statistically anyway, to improve your child's chances of being a success, marry your mate.
Right.
And I wish the president would say that. I mean, the out-of-wedlock birth rate in poor parts of the country is the highest it's ever been. And that's a disaster, and yet he's afraid to say so because it sounds like right-wing or something. There's nothing right-wing about that. If you're for marriage for gays, you should be for marriage for everybody, and I wish he would make that clear.
But do you think he was pandering that he came out with this now as opposed to, you know, waiting a little bit longer?
Yeah, well, look, he's a politician. Everything he says is political, but, you know, I think he believes it. I mean,
I do too.
I'm not any Obama fan, but I think he's probably being sincere in that he supports gay marriage, and he probably has for a long time, and didn't want to say so because he thought it would hurt him politically. And
right.
So, you know, it's kind of hard to criticize what he said yesterday as false. I mean, I think he meant it. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt anyway. Right.
No, but I think he's meant it. I think he's felt that way for years now. He just didn't want to come forward and to say that for political reasons.
Yes. No, I think that's clearly right. And I have to say the professional gay lobby has been, you know, kind of hypocritical in supporting him anyway. I mean, how can you be for equal rights if you're not for letting people get married?
Yeah.
So they've sort of put up with that for a long time. But, you know, he came around. I bet they're really happy. I just wish he would extend his enthusiasm for marriage sort of across the board and say to people, and especially in America's cities, hey, man, you know, get married or your kid is much more likely to wind up uneducated and in prison, because that's true.
Yeah, I don't doubt the sincerity of his position, and I think there's evidence he's held this position since 1996. 96. But the thing that bothers me about it, tell me what you think about this, is that he didn't have the political courage to come out and say what he believed, and I think the voters deserve to know where politician stands on the big issue of the day, and for somebody to be disingenuous and say, well, you know, their position has evolved over time, or their position was one way here and flip-flops over here and goes a different way, is sort of unfair to the voters who have the right to make a decision about who they vote for based on where they are, but they won't come clean on where they are.
Well, of course, and that whose fault is that? It's the press's fault. So for 4 years, Obama's position was, I'm for equal rights for gay people, but I'm against letting them get married for, quote, reasons of faith. Really? What faith exactly is that? You know, what church do you specifically belong to that you think prohibits you from supporting gay marriage? Like, he had a nonsensical position for all these years, and no one really pressed him on that, and that's another failing of the media, and it's depressing.
All right, Tucker, good to talk to you, and thanks for the Bashful Bladder syndrome story. I appreciate that.